All right, this is it. The final time opening the final storage unit to clear. And this is all that's left. Wow.
Yeah, wow.
Arlen, we're actually here.
We're here.
It's been 2 months in the works.
This is freaking
3 months.
exciting.
It's been 3 months because we started with Bryson City.
Right.
And then it was
Mock.
Yeah. And then M2.
Right.
Then Massachusetts. And then M3.
Yeah.
Wow. All right. Well, let's get this last stuff loaded.
All right, let's do it.
But I think it'll be good for stacking.
Yeah, I'm going to get wood flexible.
Can't believe I went and bought another storage bin and we didn't even need it.
We'll need it at home for sure. We'll need it. You said camping. We'll also like my jewelry stuff.
Yeah, I'm probably going to go ahead and I can definitely use it to load some of the stuff for our trip. This thing is so cool.
Yeah.
All right, you can go ahead and sweep it.
All right, I'm sweeping.
IV pole, yay. Sorry we didn't capture the previous several loads that it took to get this thing empty. All right, we done?
We're done.
We're done. Yeah. Here we go. Excited. This is something that I've had on my want list for a very, very long time. I don't know if it's come up much, but I am a collector of special edition board games, especially ones that have alternate play to the traditional games. For instance, our favorite is Lord of the Rings Monopoly Trilogy Edition, which shouldn't even be called Monopoly because it's so different. Well, there's another Lord of the Rings game that is also special edition, and Trivial Pursuit Lord of the Rings Trilogy Edition. It's a special movie collector's edition. And the reason this has been on my list for so long, is, there's a little note here. Beyond grateful. That's a nice touch. All right. Itsy. All right, here we go. Let's look at the board. The backdrop, if you look closely, is a map of Middle-earth. Got our cards. Got our characters over here. Gandalf. Got Aragorn, Frodo, and Lady Galadriel. And I have a Dark Rider. Don't know how that plays into the game, but it's special rules, and there's also one ring to rule them all. Also, don't know how that plays into the game, but it does have special rules the way you play the game. Oh no, she's wearing the ring.
I rule them all now.
We're doomed.
I rule them all.
Oh, I can't wait to play this. You ready to play?
Huh?
Ready to play?
I'm ready to play.
All right, so big celebration. We got all the storage unit stuff done. But as I mentioned earlier in the video, it took all week to get it done, even though it was one of the smaller units that we had to clear. And I said I would explain it at the end of the video. All right, so throughout the week, I was enjoying, or I was looking forward to working on things with my shoulder being a little bit better off because I had the injection treatment on my shoulder where I have the rotator cuff injury. And it had gotten really bad before I got this second treatment on it. And so I was looking forward to the expected relief. And it came, but it didn't come by itself. I also was having a lot of what I believe are side effects of the treatment. And specifically, not to get into too much medical detail because I'm not a doctor. Yes, I was a medic for years, but that's not a doctor. But sometimes the steroid component of the injection treatment, you have some bleed through into the bloodstream basically, and it can trigger higher impact of adrenaline and can cause tachycardia, which is a higher pulse rate, or it can affect what feel like palpitations in your chest. And I started having those through the week, and it was getting a little bit scary. But I thought it was the heat. It was a very hot week, or some of the days were very hot, and I am not built for heat. And so I found myself feeling like the palpitation type thing in my chest where it kind of felt like, whoa, like that. And I'd feel dizzy for a second. And then I would feel uncomfortable. But I'd check my vital signs. I'd check other. I didn't have other symptomology, like it might be some kind of heart attack or something going on with my heart. And so I was like, well, I just need to rest. And so I would rest. I would drink more water, and then I'd recover, and we'd go again. But as the week went on, it seemed to be getting harder and harder for me to get any sustained work done. And it got to the point by the end there when we were finally finishing out the storage unit at the end of the week. What you don't see in the edits is that I'd do 5 or 10 minutes of work, and then I'd have to wait for 30 minutes to recover until I could do more. And I also noticed that it was worse if I had caffeine. So I'm a diet cola drinker and have been for a long time. And I was trying to really pay attention to patterns. And I did notice that if I had caffeine, it seemed like the symptoms were worse and came on quicker. So again, I inventoried, I kept a log of all the episodes, I kept all the data and everything. And we went into the weekend very much having a discussion on whether or not I should go to the emergency room. And by discussion, I mean Michelle thinking that maybe we should probably go to the emergency room, me thinking we need to finish this. We're on deadline. We have our trip coming up to Maine in a few days. We got to get it done. And I don't think it's a heart attack thing. I think it's side effects of the treatment that I had for my shoulder, which go right down the line of every indicator points to that. That's what's going on. It's also something that I had mild symptomology of after I had the last treatment, but this time it seems much more intense. So here it is, it's Sunday, and we're supposed to leave on Tuesday for our big Maine trip and spending a lot of time with family and traveling and camping and everything. And I've basically made the promise that I would go ahead and rest, the rest of today, get this video edited, which is not strenuous work at all. And tomorrow I'd get in touch with my care team. And before we leave for the North Woods of Maine and down East Maine for the next 3 weeks or whatever we're going to do, I promised I would go ahead and consult with the medical team. So if you've been following this channel, I'm already so tired of having medical challenges. And I think I may have been a little bit stubborn this week with things and pushing through. I did take care of myself. I rested when I needed to rest. I drank extra water. I was monitoring my vital signs. And in the heat, when I pushed a little bit too hard, I did notice my blood pressure the last couple of days. It did spike a couple of times, but my pulse didn't. My pulse was still okay. Anyway, needless to say, it took all week to get that work done, and my stubbornness got us through the end of it. But my love for my wife and for the life that we live has me agreeing to go ahead and check in with my medical team tomorrow, report to them my log of all the episodes, talk about the symptomology, and just get their professional opinion before we move forward into the next phase of our adventure. So anyway, this is my confession box, basically, and just owning it. And we'll see what happens next. But man, we are so excited. The house is completely rehoarded again, like when we started, except most everything that's in here, at least on the main floor, is our stuff. And we've carved out some really beautiful space on the main floor that is set up. It's living space. And I'll scroll a few pictures through here to show you. And we're just so grateful and so excited to move forward on some things. All right, and the last thing I'll address before closing out, in the last video, I gave a little preview kind of sneak thing of something I've been working on, and said I didn't really want to talk about it much on the video. Without giving details, I'll say that I've constructed the basic structure of that said tease from the last video, and I sent it out to about 15 people that I respect and trust to test drive it a little bit, and the feedback was outstanding. So again, I'm not going to say entirely what it is because it's a huge project. It's very significant and there's a lot involved in it. So I don't want to jinx anything, but if you're following and you watch every minute of these videos, you probably know what I'm talking about. If you don't, you're going to have to stay tuned. We'll see what happens next. Hopefully the next chapter of this journey is our trip to Maine and getting to spend much needed time with my family, my friends, and also getting into the North Woods of Maine and the coast of Maine and enjoying some time there. But in the meantime, thank you for being here on this journey. If you haven't already, please subscribe to the channel. And if you can find it in yourself to share the videos or like the videos, maybe share something on social media, that'll help us continue to move forward with the goals of trying to reach more people and get forward on our goals of why we're doing everything we're doing, which is to have an engaged, involved, community building lifestyle that centers around creativity and the outdoors and sharing. That's what we're doing all this work for, is to get to that point. All right, thanks for listening, and I'll see you in the next episode.